What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, and we need a defender, and it's going to need to happen now. Basically, this week we need to have good news. Is it going to be Balerdi because we want him? Tudor wants him. Marseille are a bit hesitant to let him go. Is it going to be Hunchko because apparently Komoli likes Hunchko, dating back to when he was at Fenerbahce, and we're looking at potentially, reopening talks with Hunchko and Feyenoord. And on all of this, Weah could be a key part because we need to sell, and Marseille are interested in Timothy Weah, even though Marseille are saying at this moment in time, you know what, we're not really interested in moving out Balerdi, and if so, we need a lot of money for it. At the end of the day, we need help at the back, and if it's Balerdi or if it's Hunchko, it needs to happen soon because we need clarity who's going to leave and who's going to be here, because that backline desperately needs help. Before we get into it in more talk, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and let's go. So defenders, we talked about it for a very long time. We need defenders, and it's very obvious. That's, if you ask any Juve fan, what do we need most? It's that backline needs to be fixed. Despite you might think we need a better midfielder or we need an attacker, that backline is horrible. And you can have Mbappe up there and Pirlo in midfield. That backline is not going to help anyone out throughout, I don't know, was it 45 games in a season, depending, 50 games, it depends. And it needs to start right now, like I said in my intro. So apparently Balerdi from Marseille is Tudor's #1 target. And when I speak about, or when we all talk about, oh, he's not a good enough manager, etc., you can have the best manager in this team. That backline is bad. So you need help. And if you are going to bring in help, the best thing you can do is give the coach a player he prefers. And, obviously, that player needs to have qualities. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert on Balerdi, because I'm not. I'm just not. I just listen to people who do watch him quite often, who watch the French league quite often. And, obviously, you look up into it. You read some stats, even though it's not the best thing to do, just to focus on stats. That's why I just take people's words on it, who watch him play, and he looks like he fits the glove for a specific reason. One, Tudor coached him. That's one. Two, he can play left center back, because apparently that's what he played most or a lot under Tudor as well. And technically, he's very good. Now, for me, a defender needs to be good at defending. Now, if Bremer comes back and he stays fit, you have a good defender, but you still do not have anyone in that backline who can play it out calmly, because when we are under pressure, we look all over the place at the back because everybody is scared. So if you add a player who can be calm at the back, who can, bail you out a couple of times, you can get the ball to as well, and you can play it out from the back, and you can, help out everybody in that backline, that's a plus, But apparently he's also a good defender. Like, he's a solid defender. The difficulty is Marseille, because it's their captain. It's a tough subject, apparently, to sell the captain, and De Zerbi doesn't want to let him go. And if they want to let him go, you're going to need to pay a lot of money. And obviously, we're not going to pay 50 million euros or something for Balerdi. It's not going to happen. But I mean, at the end of the day, what are you going to do with that backline? You cannot say this is good enough, because it's not good enough. There are reports out there saying that, while Tudor likes Cabal, I'm good, that you like Cabal, but he's not even fit. He might be ready to play really in September, October after that. That's like, you cannot bail. You cannot put, focus on that. That cannot happen, because he probably will go out on loan. And if not so, he's way behind fitness. So that should not even be a top process, thinking about Cabal at this moment in time. It's already more difficult, or it's already a bit frustrating that we are looking to just focus on Bremer coming back and being 100%, fit. That cannot be the case. Now, moving on way out to Marseille is a plus, in my opinion, no matter what's going to happen with Balerdi, because Weah is a player that, he offers nothing. Let's keep it real. And Do other players offer more? Not really, but he apparently has offers on the table, so you need to take it. That's what it is. That's the situation we're in. We cannot say, oh, but he's slightly better than the next one up. Fine, but the next one up has no offer, and this one has an offer, and we need to improve, and you need to get rid of these players. So I've seen the comments, saying that we cannot get rid of everyone. Well, sadly enough, no, but we can try. We can try, you know. We need depth. I get it, but when the starting 11 quality is not good enough, what do you think the depth quality is going to be? Let's focus on improving that starting 11, and that backline needs help. Now, the other name is Hunchko, which we already discussed as well. He's a player that could do a job. I think he's a solid player. On the ball, he's okay. Like, he's okay. He can do his thing on the ball. Probably not as Balerdi if you just look at the numbers as well. But I've watched Hunchko. He's not a wizard on the ball. I'm not gonna say that, but he's decent on the ball. I think he's a good defender. He's a good defender. Is he a player that's gonna blow you away? No. He's just a player who will do a good job, and maybe that's what we need. Just players who can do a good job. That being said, that even though I think he's decent on the ball, I don't think he's decent enough to make up for the struggles the others will have at the back. Because it's clear that Tudor's going to play a back three. He's not going to change it. He didn't even change it. He was playing Kostic in there. So that's all you need to know. I know Rugani's agent is talking again. But for a starting 11, if you can give me Kalulu, Bremer, Balerdi, I can live with that. Or Gatti, Bremer, Balerdi, I can live with that. Or Hunchko. Because right now, I made my peace where we're not going to get something sensational. We're not going to get a player that's going to blow you away or has some crazy potential where you're like, oh my God, this is it. We're not going to do that. That's very obvious. That's very clear. I made my peace with that. It is what it is. But still, we need quality. It's not a thing where if you say, well, do not spend anything, it's a throwaway season. Now, if you give me options as Agüet, then yeah, do not spend money at all on these type of players because they're not going to improve one bit over they're not going to move the needle. Certain defenders we also have been linked with are just not going to move the needle. It's just wasting money to waste money. It's just adding more problems into the future, where you're like, oh my God, now we need to get rid of 4 defenders instead of 1. All that being said, there are no offers for Kelly. Rugani, even if there's an offer, it's peanuts, so that's kind of, you throw away. They want to keep Gatti. They want to keep Kalulu. They signed Kalulu. I mean, they want to keep Savona, and he's injured as well. They want to keep Cambiasso. They want to keep Cabal. They want to keep Alberto Costa. It's a lot, but it's not good. It's a lot of meh, potential, not good enough, what's going to, decision it has to be made, and it needs to be made right now. We need to move quickly because that's the most important thing. That back line is going to make or break the season. It's just going to and we've seen it when Bremer went down, it broke our season completely, just completely. So we cannot miss out. And it needs to happen ASAP, Anyways, in the comment section, you let me know what we should be doing or what you're expecting us to do. Like that, I think that's a better question. What are you expecting us to do? Let me know in the comments. Like the video, and I will speak to you guys soon again. Ciao.